Yeah, I'll make her sit over here, so that.
So you have a mic there that should be able to pick up your,
Test.
Sound check.
Test.
Sound.
1, 2.
Okay. Just wanna make sure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
We need 6, right?
So we have I call this meeting to order. It is now 6:22. Today is Wednesday, September 24th. This is the Yigo Municipal Planning Council regular meeting. Notices of the meeting was posted on Guam Daily Post on September 17th and September 22nd. At this time, I'd like to ask the secretary to take roll.
Lorenzo Cairo. Robert Martinez. Vice Mayor Pedro Blas.
Present.
Gregorio Calvo. Joseph B. Cruz. Elizabeth Flickinger. Peter Frias.
Present.
Jack Hattick. Mayor Francis Lozama.
Here.
Jonathan McDermott. Norma Salas. Peter Santos.
Guide me too.
Geraldine Tennyson, present. Benito Coy Torres. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 present.
Before we proceed to the, on the agenda items, can I get a motion to proceed to item 7, new business?
So moved.
Motion by P. Santos, seconded by Jack. Any objections?
No.
So ordered. So new business, we have an application for a summary zone change, application number 2024-25, lot 3-1, block number not available, track 10430, from agriculture to R1 single family dwelling. The applicant is Huayan Zhang, also known as Julie. Here, representing her is Mr. Harry Gutierrez. So I know I emailed members the packet of this rezoning, and I hope that you had a chance to review it. Any of you have any questions? Mr. Gutierrez, you want to give a little?
This particular lot is surrounded by R2, R1, and A zone. Across the street, there's, I believe, 40 units of R2 apartments. The sewer line is, I believe, it's 6-inch. Water line is 6 inches. The fire hydrant on that. And the best use for this is R1. It's an A zone, you only build 2 houses. And the lot is 1,900 square meters. And it's subdivided down to 480 square meters each part. This is a Baltimore. I think I'm going to answer any questions. I have the owner here and he's saying.
Anybody has any questions for Mr. Gutierrez?
Just a single family dwelling?
Yes, so this lot in particular is located along Chalan going into Paris Acres, kind of like a cross-boring villa. So, yes, when you're heading towards the back road, it's on the right side.
Okay.
So, it's one parcel. They want to subdivide it to 4 parcels. Any questions?
Yeah, I guess it's a question. I made all the observations that Mr. Gutierrez had made, and I guess it was just a question out of curiosity. Everything else around it is residential. And I'm assuming that prior they were all agricultural. Is it this just like a formality pretty much because that lot's been vacant ever since?
Yes.
Okay, so I have no objection.
And most of it around is R1.
Yes.
It's-
Mr. Barcenas? Yeah.
Sorry, so usually, so the process is so what they're turning it into an R1.
Yes,
So
It's a-
like that, so like living spaces.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's one big property. They're going to divide it into 4
Okay.
properties. Okay. No further questions?
I have a question real quick. They planning to build for rental or is it just residents or
For both residents
and rental? All 4 lots?
there's 3, 4 kids, 3 kids. To the future husband of it,
Okay, so,
Mr. Harris. I think the best use for this is on the A zone, if she leaves it in an A zone, she's only allowed to build 2 houses. Or 1 duplex, it's a waste of property. Water and sewer is available. Water and sewer wasn't available. The sewer wasn't available. Then I could see, this zone. I've been doing this for 45 years and I'm ready to quit.
okay, so, any other questions? No, bites? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez.
Thank you.
Thank
Do
you.
you need a vote on this right now?
We don't have to vote on it. Okay. We can just go through and then when we get to that item. Okay. Okay, so, can I get a motion to revert back to, item,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Continue on to approval of minutes, or sorry, treasury. Approval of minutes, sorry.
I'll second.
okay, on the motion to revert back to item 3, approval of minutes, any objections? No? So ordered. Moving on to item 3. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes subject to corrections? Okay, Jack,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Barcenas. On the motion to approve the minutes subject to corrections, any objections? No objections? So ordered. Okay, moving on to treasurer's report. I apologize for not providing you guys a copy, only because we've been inundated with this whole water issue, and so, and not only that, I didn't want to give you guys a copy of the report, only because the amounts on the account balances are not accurate, only because when we do the PRFs, some of them were canceled, or if a PO is issued, the PO may be lower than what we anticipated. So there's going to be that variance, and so I don't want to give you a false number. I want to give you guys the accurate. So as of today, our balance for the general fund is at 5,381.30. And this is taking into consideration all the the procurement requests and direct payments that we have processed. Deadline for procurement was in August. Direct payments was last week Friday. So that's the balance of the general fund, 5,381.30. Again, this balance will fluctuate, because we still have pending request forms that has not been processed. So we're pending POs, or we've been getting request forms canceled because of no quote. So, and then for the general fund the supplemental budget, balance is 8,580.01. And again, we just had some procurement request forms returned because when we first did market research, the item that we were asking, they gave us the amount, but then when the council did the request for price quote, it increased drastically. So we're like, okay, yeah, that's okay. We're gonna cancel that. So that's what we've been doing, is we've been like canceling because of the amount that just wasn't within our range. So again, the balance for the general fund supplemental budget is 8,580.01. For the GEF account, which is the Guam Educational Facilities Fund, the balance is 9,066.83, sorry. So 9,066.83. For the limited gaming fund, our balance is 1,213. Any questions? I will, once this is updated, I will provide you guys a copy via email. And then the debit buffer strip. So, reported from previous meeting, the amount of what Yigo's share is dropped. So it was at 165, I believe, but now it's at 109,520. So according to what we've got from DOA, the total amount revenues collected was 1 million. For some reason, 590 some thousand was transferred to the general fund in previous years, which they were not supposed to, because this is a special fund. Yeah, and so I'm trying to schedule a meeting with the Lieutenant Governor to see how they can put back that 590, yes, because that's a big chunk, $590,000, that's, which they weren't supposed to, they're not allowed to, but it happened. So now, because of that, our account is now at 109,520. I know I did report back then that, I'm sorry, let me correct that. 107,770. Because there was a procurement that we put in for plywood, which was at 1,750. We are procuring plywood only because we've been getting calls about bus shelters that were damaged from malware that has not been replaced, and these are the wooden bus stops. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to gather the materials. We have a group that is willing to come out and build the bus stop. We just need to get the materials. So this is part of that, as far as obtaining the materials. We're still waiting on, I believe, the PO for that. Yes.
I just have some questions with regards to that, because I'm overseeing Typhoon Mawar recovery efforts at the Guam Recovery Office, and DPW still has a lot of outstanding scopes of work that they haven't developed yet for these bus shelters higher line everywhere. So my question is, has DPW acknowledged that that's gonna be, financial, did you enter into any kind of like negotiation or agreements with them? Because if you spend the money, it's possible that there's no reimbursement because you're not the, obviously, if you know this, Mayor, right, that they're not the applicant, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I appreciate that we're gonna rebuild these bus shelters, so obviously we need them right now, but is DPW willing to simply, allow that and then not get reimbursed for what they were obligated?
Well, that one, I did get into it with them on that. However, I did request for bus stops. And I was told, we don't have the materials. And this was not too long ago. And so, while they're not doing anything to get the materials, the kids that need the bus stop are out there, and especially with the rain, the weather, we want to do something about it. So,
There is a possibility for, in kind, we talked about this and the staff is well aware of
it's,
if the material can be purchased or donated in kind
Mhm.
and then recorded, right? And then FEMA would acknowledge that and then DPW would build it out, right, using their labor force, using force account labor. So there is a possibility if that's something that is DPW willing to do that, and I appreciate your efforts, Mayor, and it's exactly what we need to do. But we stand ready, I mean, obviously, we stand ready to assist them in anything that they're able to do.
So the only reason why I'm taking this approach is because I've been asked by several groups. One of them wrote a rap. They want to do something, but they just want me to tell them, okay, this is what I want you guys to do. Also, Simon Sanchez, there's an organization that has reached out about adopting a bus stop, or how can they come out and do some volunteer work. So I figured, okay, so if we have Rotaract, maybe we can partner them with the students to build the bus stop, and then at the same time, maybe you want to adopt this bus stop, being that, you are part of this. So that's the only reason why I said, hey, let's move on it. We have somebody who's willing to do it,
Perhaps there is also a workaround if DPW can identify a temporary bus stop area
Mhm.
and build a bus stop on a temporary area. Technically, the scope of work for that damaged bus stop has to remain in the area that it's at.
Uh-huh.
So if you build a temporary bus stop using your idea, you can do that, and then simply, once it's done, right, you can simply either transfer it to the area that it was, or temporarily designate that as the bus stop, and then when they do rebuild it, right, when DPW does rebuild it, then you have an opportunity there, a unique opportunity, right, to create another bus stop in an area that you might need to.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because the one that the resident had told about was a temporary bus stop, and that got damaged. So, we're trying to.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of bus stops, I have two requests that DPW has a bus stop, and this is private property. So they're requesting that we remove it. So one of them is the one along Route 1, just before you get to Spring.
Oh, yeah.
That bus stop down the little
Yeah.
slope, that belongs to Sablon.
Okay.
So she requested for that to be removed. Another one is Solace One across the church. So those are two bus stops. Now, the only thing is, are these bus stops still being used? If we move them, is there an alternate site within the area to place them? Because we don't want to remove it and then the kids are without a bus stop. So I'm gonna have Ethan take a look at that to get with DPW and see if there's any property within the area to place these bus stops. So,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
May I ask a question? Is DPW, are they experiencing issues with manpower? Is that what it is?
Well, I can't really discuss, too much in terms of our dealings, with the subrecipient, but what I can say is it's pending scope of work development.
Because I was gonna suggest that maybe even if DPW can tap in with GCC Trades Academy, right? And
Yeah.
do something in conjunction.
I mean, that's something that our staff will definitely bring up with DPW's avenues to complete the scope, to complete the construction, because right now it's in scope of work development. The second thing I want to say is that, as the mayor alluded, it was the close of the fiscal year. So there's a lot of transactions that can't really occur right until the opening of the fiscal year again, because of reconciling, right, all the accounts. So that's another reason why it's kind of delayed, and it's a beyond our control kind of thing. But as soon as the accounts are opened up in the new fiscal year, I think we're going to see a lot of movement. So I'm confident though. But I just want to inform the mayor of that. That way, if she wants to strike while the iron's hot, right? If she has a way to do that within this reconciliation period, then so be it. But I just didn't want DPW to cast off any, because of that obligation of funds, it would have to be de-obligated, and we don't want to return monies, to the federal government that have been obligated. And we're also working on ways to offset overruns and underruns with project scopes of work, with regards to bids that come back high. So those are some of the things that are involved in the recovery effort, and we remain, committed to assisting all of our sub-recipients, be it the mayors or be it the department, any department that has jurisdiction.
So, any questions? Okay, so, and lastly, the non-appropriated funds, the NAP account. This NAP account is an account that is established with Bank of Guam and has nothing to do with DOA or Gov Guam. We maintain that account. We do the record keeping, the bookkeeping of that account. So the balance as of today is 23,140.42. This balance is inclusive of the civil weddings that was performed up until August, which is $950, and also the $20,000 GITA grant. So minus the 20,000 GITA grant, 3,140.42. Any questions?
When is the deadline to use the GITA grant again? When was the deadline to use the GITA?
So
May of next
it's
year.
1 year from the time that the check was issued, which was when it was picked up and signed off. So that's 1 year.
Well, back to the bus stops, would it not be deemed unsafe for the mayor's office to be the one to remove it?
Oh, no, that, the removal of the bus stop, that is coordinated through DPW. Yes. So just so that you guys are aware that this is what we're doing, the two requests that came in, because again, they're on private property.
Those are cement? Or
One of them, I believe,
Yeah, the one in Solace one is at the end,
cement?
yes.
but I think even the one on Route 1 might be concrete as well. So yes, definitely DPW would have to do that, to do the removal, because that's their bus stop. Any questions? Any questions? No? Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report? There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Frias to approve the treasurer's report,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Santos. Uh, Any objections? No objections, so ordered. Moving on to item 5, Mayor's Report. Buckle your seatbelts. Of course, the first topic that I'm going to discuss is the water contamination. So this whole thing came about, I met with GWA on September 10, that's a Wednesday. I was informed that the notices will be sent out Thursday and Friday. And I believe they're still sending them out. I don't know where they're at with that, but in meeting with them, they said that the only ones who will get the notice are the ones affected and that they will provide a listing. So of course, they did provide the listing, they did send out the notices. We conducted a town hall meeting last week, Thursday, GWA, EPA, and Public Health. So of course, that was a meeting, I wouldn't want to be sitting in the front for that, because the main concern of the residents is this is something that they knew about 2 years ago, and just now they're being told about it. I was told this was something that came up back in 2012. So why just now? Maybe at the time, whatever the results were not alarming, but still the fact that they knew about it, that was the time that they should have taken corrective action. So that was more the gist of the frustrations of the residents is they were just now, they're being informed. Two, they can't consume, brush the teeth with it, or cook with it. So then the question remains, well, can they shower with it? Because one of the questions was asked, so how is it, when you shower, it eventually goes into your pores. So, is it still safe to shower with? One of the concerns or the calls that came in was, what about those with skin disorder, eczema, psoriasis, etc., the babies? So, these are questions that we can't answer. And that was the whole purpose of having the town hall meeting because of all these concerns and the questions. And again, GWA stating these are only going to those affected. Well, after the meeting on Thursday, because I had announced if anyone is unsure, call the office, we have the listing. The listing only comprised of house number, street name, no names. So what we're finding out is, one, either the resident did not receive the notice and their address is on the listing, or they received the notice, but their address is not on the listing. So there's kind of like a confusion there, the discrepancy of how accurate this information that they gave to us. I just want to share that today, a resident called about the same thing, and unfortunately, the information that was given to her is based on the information that we were given. So she calls GWA, whoever at GWA calls the office and is upset, why are we giving wrong information? But Ethan he handled it well. Mentioned that we're only going by the information that you provided. So, unless there's another listing that you guys have, well, they did provide another listing. I don't know how accurate that listing is. I have not seen the listing, but we'll see. So we're also asking the residents, just call the number on the notice because they would be able to answer the questions. Again, some residents are calling, they're not answering their phones. So, we can't give them information we don't know. So again, it all goes back to, we have to call GWA. So, of course, this whole town hall meeting, there was like about 150 people. And as a result of that, all the questions that were asked, I have requested for a follow-up meeting. Because keep in mind, CCU met on Tuesday. And GWAGM did convey the question of, so are we still paying for the water even if we can't use it? So I don't know what the result was on that discussion, but, and that's the reason why I'm asking for this follow-up meeting, so that whatever was discussed at the CCU, they can convey to the residents. Hopefully that they have some positive answers, but we won't know until they give that information. So I did talk to Senator Jesse Lujan, who was there. There will be an oversight that is scheduled for October, however, no definite date yet, but definitely in October. Again, thanks to Senator Joe Sanofsky, who donated 50 cases of water. So in speaking with the vice, we are prioritizing the Manamkus who can't go and get the water themselves, and those with special needs. Apparently everybody's calling now. So we're trying to prioritize, and I feel bad for the vice because, you know, he's the one who's pretty much handling that.
It's labor of love.
With the guys, and, you know, so yes, prioritizing the Manamkus and those with special needs. I did talk to Senator Sabrina Matanani as well, and she did confirm about the oversight hearing. Again, no exact date. Today, I had a phone call with the Lieutenant Governor. So he was meeting with the legal counsel because they are working on an executive order to declare state of emergency. And so depending on the verbiage of the executive order, definitely there will be regular updates from the front office or GWA and EPA. There will be flexibility of the executive order, and this is for the purpose of deployment of resources. And then they are working on standing up a phone line, kind of like a hotline for residents to call. But we don't have more information on that. However, once that has been established, they will pass on the information as to the phone number and where. We don't know where. It could be at the office, it could be at civil defense, could be front office, we don't know. So those are the details that they will share once it's confirmed. So just so you know that the Lieutenant Governor is working on this. He is also assigning Phil Youngerell from the Governor's office to help push out all these information that we need to pass along to the residents. So again, I will be working with Phil on this as far as where we're at with the executive order, what, how soon can we start doing things, how soon can we start moving resources and such. So I will keep you guys abreast of what's going on, definitely. In the meantime, residents are still calling, just inquiring if they're affected, because now we did receive a call from several residents who live in the LaChance area. During all that whole issue of no water or low water pressure, they would call GWA dispatch. They're told, well, you know, because of Y15. Now they're wondering, okay, is that where we're getting our water? And mind you, they're not in that area, supposedly the affected area. So Definitely I'm going to request GWA to hopefully give us a map of the water lines as to who is being fed out of the Y-15, because now we're hearing La Chance, you know. Ethan mentioned Emsley, the first house, as you go into Emsley, they didn't get a notice, they're not affected, but yet everybody else in there, so I don't know whether that person is getting their water source from another well, so that's one thing that GWA needs to clarify. Again, we don't have the answers. We're just getting all these information from residents, we're trying to help them, but again, absent of GWA personnel, we can't give them any information. Advice?
Yeah, no, just, you know, with all these people calling and asking for water, you know, we did try to discuss with the office to, you know, verify that these people do qualify for these donated water cases, right? So one thing that I fear that will catch on is that they will be starting to think that the mayor's office is providing water until the time that the pump should be, you know, started to be fixed, right? So, you know, I guess in the time being, not to say that we need to provide that service until 2026, but, you know, any kind of donations of cases of water would, you know, really help, you know, the cause, right? And at the end of the day, all these people have the right to worry. Uh, but just in, you know, in the event that they just refuse to um, use their tap water, even if it's in desperate measures, and they call us asking for assistance, you know, it'd be nice to have that extra stock of water. So, you know, this is a call not only to you guys, but, you know, to anybody else who may be listening, you know, we would gladly accept donations and help that.
If a resident wanted to like test their own water, they would have to go to the GWA?
Yes, yes.
Because, you know, the map is out showing which areas are affected, but what if their water wasn't contaminated and they're just scared and not using it? So
Yes.
the GWA.
So they would have to tap into GWA for that, because we don't do the testing, so.
How much water is needed? Like, how much water have you given out so far?
Oh, out of the case of 50,
Case of,
yeah, or
oh, the 50
the load of
cases?
50 cases, right? Yeah, we're down to 4, you know,
Okay.
so yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and just remember, this is long-term.
Yeah.
The expected completion date is summer of 2026, so, I had one resident, mention that they go through, 3 cases of water in a matter of 2 days.
Wow.
So, yeah. So can you imagine, how much water we're gonna need? I know at the time when, I got a call from Charles Stevis, because we were trying to work it through, FEMA's resources, but of course, I already knew that, FEMA doesn't deploy their resources unless, the president, yes, there's a presidential declaration. And so, considering 1,112 residents affected, 4,000, I'm saying 4,000 people. Because one household may have only 2 people, you may have a household of 10, a household of 12. So, you know, how many are actually out there? I'd rather be safe than sorry and say 4,000. It's an estimate that I gave, and it's the estimate that he also came up with, you know, so 4,000 is what we're looking at. 4,000 bodies.
Exactly.
So, you know,
There's a lot of duplexes and multifamily homes
Yes.
in those areas
Yes.
specifically,
yes.
especially the back gate, there's a lot of duplexes back there, so.
Yes, and you know, and I'm glad you mentioned duplex, because sometimes with the duplex, it may be one applicant for both. You know how, we'll pay for your water, it's just included in your rental kind of thing. So, although it counts as one address, but really there's 2. So, yeah, those are things that we have to take into consideration. So, you know, 4,000 bodies, you know.
Where are these affected residents filling up their water if they can, if they're scared to shower, scared to, you know.
So GWA has posted a water tanker, right across UP Elementary, one going into Gil Breeze, the entrance, and one at, Arundel along Route 1. There's, water fill stations with the faucet, in front of the mayor's office and right outside the Jugo gym fence. So if you see the little, stand, Yeah.
The lemonade stand.
the lemonade stand, that's where they can get water.
As for bottled water, I was talking earlier, maybe it's worthwhile to try to approach the Air Force, the command. They do civil military assistance, or maybe there's organizations in the Air Force Base that would be willing to, as a sign of goodwill, donate cases of water for the public. And we can ask the liaison office of the governors to.
And that's direct to Costco, right?
Right, that's just a couple of things, I just would like to make a motion to reflect the presence of council members in the discussion.
I have him, noted that he came in at 6:53 p.m.
Okay. So on the motion, by Mr. Haptic,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Jerry. Jerry.
It's okay, we are on the same wavelength right now.
Okay. Moving on to commodities. Oh, any questions?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to, a couple of things, hearing that, we're thinking about a state of emergency. Well, first of all, for the follow-up, town hall, I personally, let me just explain, I emailed GWA and I asked them, can you confirm that I received, that you sent out a notice to me? And they did confirm via email that yes, they sent it out on September 12th, according to their records. It's important for me to establish that I'm effective, and that's, I think, what everyone is trying to do right now. Amidst all the information that's being put out, we're just trying to find out, are we affected? And if so, what are our options? What can we do to help, protect ourselves or mitigate, So one of the things that I've been trying to ask for, and I failed to ask for it in the first town hall, is public health didn't exactly provide an explanation as to what happens when you're affected, like when you consume this. So I think that one thing we can press them is for exactly what are the effects to consumption of deodorant, right? And a better explanation of what the science looks like on the health side. Because much of it was explained on the science of the use side, which is, kind of like the way it was sprayed between 1948 and 1987, and the way it permeates down into the ground and then through the aquifer, and then that's how it gets into the groundwater, and then it's pumped up into the well, right, without any point of view system, right, for decontamination. So one thing that, you could consider inviting public health to advise the public about the effects, the health effects of deodorant immediately, right? What can we expect to see from exposure at 2 years at least and from, right? Because that's exactly what EPA and GWA was telling us, was at least 2 years, at least 2023. The second thing is if we were declaring a state of emergency, that any mobilization would include funding for point of view systems for individual residences, because I think that's kind of like the mad rush now is to find out, and GWA emailed me specific to your question regarding the point of view systems, please make sure that the system you opt to get is NSF-53 or 441 certified, right? So I think the mad dash now for those that can afford it is to try to acquire these systems and start implementing them. So where, can we get some more information as to where we can procure that? Is there a vendor selling that on that?
So I know that, Home Depot, however, they're out. Their next shipment comes in, I believe, next week. And then there's supposed to be another shipment after that. So, and then I know one of the residents on the Jugo chat mentioned that they, I believe, up at Anderson, but I think they're out. They only have like one or two. Yeah, so,
And then.
because of this whole thing now, you know,
The
this
mad
is-
rush, right?
yeah, so now,
Stock
it's-
is now
yes.
depleted. And then the last thing is, as a ratepayer, right, I mean, I'm concerned about paying for a bad product, right,
Mhm.
obviously, so perhaps we can, and this goes to a little bit of the notice to sue, right, by Camacho Titan, is maybe a deferment plan, right, for those affected directly, right, a payment deferment plan until this crisis is resolved, right? There could be some kind of, GWA could come up with some kind of deferred payment plan that would, help, with, the situation, because it's very disconcerting that the water in our own tap is unusable, you know what I mean? And to be paying for that is just another thing that we have to think about. Right? So maybe a deferred payment plan can be utilized for those folks. And that's the reason why I say we need to find out which customers are exactly affected, because you start doing that and then everybody's gonna expect that, oh, I'm on the deferred payment plan because I'm affected, but in actuality, they're not, right? So that's why that information is so important to establish in the very beginning, because anything we do to mitigate that, including financially, will be affected by that. So those are my only concerns. It's a very real thing. I live, right up Gatinero. I mean, it's obvious that that whole site receives its water from that whole site, right, Harlem, right, all the way down to right? So, yeah, so it's just, I'm trying to gather the information and I'm trying to listen carefully to what our government is doing, right? And I'm not trying to create any panic or anything like that, because I have an elderly dad and lives with me, I have 3 young kids that live with me. Yet it's very real, it's very real for these folks. So thank you for all your efforts in getting the information out there, because I think without you, this would have gone, I mean, I think it was very clear at the town hall that it would have gone underreported or informed, right, the general public in our area. So thanks for continuing to shed light on this, right, and what can we do? Yeah.
and I think anybody in this position would have did the same thing, because again, it all goes back to the health. So, again, for those who want to donate water, bottled water, for our monopolies and those with special needs, we would gladly accept. Okay. Any other questions, discussions? No? Okay, moving on to commodities. So we did distribution on August 30. We serviced 165 households. That's equivalent to 630 bodies, individuals. And that was via the point of distribution at the gym. We did delivery, we allowed for pickup. And that includes the 35 clients here at the senior center. And then we also did fresh peaches. We received 166 cases on September 12th. And then an additional 150 cases because people were calling and we were out. So the 166 plus the 150 cases on September 15, both days combined, we serviced 221 households. So although it was a weekend, so we pushed out that information. People were calling. We used to have peaches. We send them to the gym. Again, like the regular distribution on Saturday, we had residents coming by. We were out. Okay, just go ahead and fill out the form, and we'll call you when we get. And that was the whole purpose of us getting the additional 150 pieces because we still had residents who were requesting. So that worked out very well. And so we still have commodities. We are planning another distribution. We don't want to put out the date yet, only because we did receive 2 other items. And so we're trying to bag those, get those ready, and see how much we can come up with, and then put out the date. So again, you'll be informed. You're more than welcome to come on and assist us. It's just like a drive-through. We have the bags. They come. We give them the bags, and they're on their merry way. So the last 2 distributions we did, we started at 7, we ended at 10, so about good 3 hours. So I know, like, for the last distribution, we did like maybe 500 some bags of commodities. So each bag contained 1 item of each. So it was pears, beef stew, a bag of 20-pound, it's a 20-pound rice, what is it, vegetable soup, canned chicken, and then this time we have mac and cheese and peanut butter.
Wow.
Yeah, and then of course the veggies.
I was
Like, I
like, there's
think-
no, where's the canned veggies?
Yeah,
That's usually the
I
canned
think there's
veggies.
canned veggies also, but yes, that's what's in the bag. So each bag contains 1 of each. And so we want to push these out because in order for us to get more, we need the room. And, any chance that they give us commodities, I'm willing to take it. I'm not going to turn it down because, again, this is for the residents. So that being said, we will plan for another distribution for October. I want to do this once a month. So, although there are residents who have their, what is it, the EBT? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But, given a few months ago, they had some issues. So of course, these clients were depending on the commodities to supplement them until. So, we want to make sure that there's that service for them. Any questions? No? Abandoned vehicle removal. We are still doing that. Unfortunately, every time Ethan gets rid of one or 2 shows up.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, so, and we're stressing it's those at the bus stops along the easements that is a hazard or is impeding the passage of traffic and the bus. So that being said, the issue of the recycling revolving fund, which all mayors tap into for the removal of the junk vehicles, white goods. So we had our meeting today, and that was one of the discussions. For this fiscal year, we are going to go ahead and continue. However, come next fiscal year, we don't want to deal with it. We're going to give it back to EPA and let them be the one to handle it because right now, we can't do anything because there's a protest. So in the meantime, all these vehicles pile up. And how much more is DPW going to accept coming from Yigo? We don't know. So, and then the headache of having to deal with it. Me personally, it just takes away from the job that the guys have to do. We're concentrating too much on getting rid of these vehicles, which is okay. However, again, they still have their regular duties that they have to do within the community. So it takes them away from that. So that being said, come next fiscal year, everything goes back to EPA. They will be the one to handle it. The mayor's council does not want to deal with it. Yeah.
The other thing is, it's not, when you remove the ones from the roadway, right, removing it for the safety. But when residents see that, they're like, oh, they're collecting cars?
Yes.
Let's go load up all the ones in the back, drag it to the
Yes.
front, so the
Yes.
next day there's 4 where
Yes,
you move one.
exactly.
So
Yes.
unfortunately, that's the situation a lot of times, is you move one car and they feel that, oh, they're taking this, so, we'll bring all these to the front, and then now we're stuck with
Mhm.
12.
Exactly. So, and you're right, because that's exactly what's been happening is Ethan moves one car and then next day, 2 days later, there's like 2 cars.
Yeah, you see
know.
all the driving trails.
Yes, yes,
Sometimes
so,
they clear that Tulu too, remember the Tulu?
mhm. Yes. So, yeah, the mayor's council is not going to deal with it starting next fiscal year. Any questions? Okay, stray dogs. The vice and the community maintenance workers have been really working hard on trying to get rid of this issue. However, it's always going to be there because one of the things is Gain does the what is it? Catch and release, or what did we call it? Where when they catch the stray animal, they fix it and then they let it go.
Oh, really?
Yes. So again, it goes back to, it doesn't solve the
thought it was,
stray
I
animal
thought it was a
issue.
holding shelter that they don't put them down.
That costs money.
Ah, so that's so
at
it's
least-
cheaper to release.
Yes, so
Oh, wow.
they fix them and then they release them where they picked them up. But again, like I said, it doesn't solve the stray animal issue.
We'll just put with a pickup spot in another village and it'll be okay, right? Just kidding.
So, they're really trying hard to remedy this issue because we're getting calls of dog bites. As a matter of fact, I just got a call about one yesterday. An FB student got bit by a dog. And the problem that we're facing is, you see the residents, they feed the dog. The dogs are out there doing their business and they don't clean the dogs. Oh, that's not my dog. But yet they feed the dog. At the end of the day, the dogs go there, they sleep there, but they refuse to clean it. So,
Well, even if they disclaim it, according to the law, if they feed it, they own it.
yep,
3 times.
that's.
3 times.
Oh, yeah.
But from there, the one in Lada where there's multiple incidents where the kids were bitten by the neighbor's dog, right? That supposedly that's Puni dog, but for some reason, even animal control kind of just looks the other way or says, oh, we talked to them, and the dog's still there. There's been multiple incidences, but there's nothing that can be done at this time.
And the thing with animal control too is they're very short staffed. You're talking about, I don't know, maybe a staff, maybe less than 5, maybe even less than 4
I heard there's like 2.
for the entire island.
Yeah.
So, to call animal control, how soon are they going to respond? So, and in talking with one of the officers, he said, well, Mayor, the priority is the dog bites, then the school. And I said, well, if you take care of the dogs, then there won't be any dog bites. But, it is what it is. That's, so we are trying on our end to do what we can. So I'm hoping that when we do round up these dogs, that Gain's willing to accept them, and what they do with it, just don't release it. But,
Yeah.
For the most part, we've gotten lucky every time we brought dogs to game, because they have their government side. So whenever a government agency connects a dog, they'll take it. But you do have to call ahead of time to make sure that they're available. So that sometimes we've been stuck with pets at the gym for a couple of days until that cage or whatever kennel is freed up. But man, we're doing pretty good. We've caught a lot actually over at DL Paris because they have to get their school was it fumigated or the ticks. They were finding ticks and fleas at the school. Yeah, so we send a child there and it's there like every day and maybe every day or two. We catch something, take it a day. And,
Hopefully find up homes.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, so last month's theme was abandoned vehicles. This month is stray dogs. So, yeah, so again, the vice and the guys are really doing what they can and are really working hard on that.
And we can do an adoption drive at the commodities. So get your commodities and take a pet home. So
Pack all the dogs or dump them away. Just joking.
Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, Jigo Sabongi. So we are going to start October 4th, which is a Saturday. The league is only going to be on Saturday and Sunday because again, lighting. A total of, I want to say a little over 25 maybe? 25. I know we started out with a little over 30, but because some, going back to the teams that participated in the past, now they don't have enough players because everybody has grown, they've aged,
Oh, yeah.
so not enough players, so they start to drop. But nonetheless, we're still gonna have the league. I know for the island-wide men's, we have about maybe 14, 15 teams. So there's supposed to be an island intramural men's, but because again, some of them have dropped, so we were down to 4. So we took those 4 and moved them to the island-wide. So we don't have an intramural. It's all island-wide. So that plus the co-ed and women's. I think we have maybe 5 or 6 women's. So
I think around a total of 31 teams.
we started with like 30 something,
Yeah.
but then I guess when they found out they don't have enough players, then
I'm sure once we get through this initial season, the next time we do it, it'll be bigger. I mean, it's
yes,
been a while since we.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. yes.
Once we get the vibe going already and everybody's getting into it again and all the families come out, it's gonna be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's a start, and which is what we wanted to do. So that will start October 4th. We are working on the scheduling. So on one given day, the 3 divisions may play maybe twice. There'll be two games for each division. So, and then again, depending on lighting. So, we anticipate to start at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. and then till we're able to. So we're looking at maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe.
Would be the last game.
Yeah. Again, depending on the lighting. So again, October 4th. There is an entrance fee for each team, which is $350 per team. What we've been doing is Serena's been collecting entrance fees from those teams who come by the office to make a payment. We ask that they do 50%. However, full payment has to be made before their first game. So all teams should be paid before the first game. Again, we are also soliciting businesses. So far, we've got a response from Bank of Guam, Pacific Rim, what is it, B-Tax?
Yeah.
The one at
That's
the
the
old.
Business and Technology Academy.
Right, the one at the
Yeah.
old San Vicente, Port Tech. I've also solicited, GTA, um, businesses here. So.
What about Ambrose?
Not yet. I'm still working on my list.
The reason why I say is because I do several events. They pay for the trophies. So I've done softball trophies for them. I've done paddling trophies for them. I've done fishing derby trophies for them. Whoever the event sponsor is or the event organizer goes to them. They cut the check, but the trophies, they pay for the trophies. So that's a good. They do it a lot, so
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
sure they would.
So, although, so with the sponsorship, what we're going to do is if they have a banner, we will post their banner on the fence. If they don't have a banner, eventually we're going to announce their business throughout the games and throughout the league. So that's what we're going to do with those who have donated.
Is there for sponsorship, is there a minimum you guys are looking at, or?
A minimum of 500.
Okay.
So, I don't want to be greedy. Start off 500. If you want to give us more, sure. We're not going to turn it down, but
Sure,
$500. And the entrance fee and the sponsorship is what we will use to pay for the officials, the umpire, supplies like the bases. There's bases that we need to purchase, the liner for the field, and other stuff, that goes with the league. But we will try to minimize the expenditure, hopefully. And then even with the scorekeeping, I'm willing to teach somebody to scorekeep, and you're gonna volunteer. So, or, I can do it, but, I don't wanna do it. I'll give it to somebody. But, if somebody's willing to learn,
Maybe for the next week, but usually what we do is everyone has a scorer provided, like every team provides a scorer, that's the official score. Like, you have a schedule of when you need to provide the scorer,
yeah.
that's the official scorer for the match, for the game.
How many weekends, I'm sorry?
So depending on what the schedule looks like, yeah. Because then again, if the women's, I think there's only like 5 or 6, we can go 2 rounds.
2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah, 2 or 3 rounds, and so depending on how long that will take, how many games we can play in a day.
Just create divisions,
Right.
division A,
So-
division B, and then that's how it's scheduled.
Yeah, so,
I'm willing to learn to volunteer. I can't commit until I know how long I'm gonna be out there. But
Yeah.
I'll learn so I can.
but,
I can help out.
if you're willing to, just keep in mind that you're not gonna be there all week.
Mhm.
You definitely will have somebody there to swap out and, because I tell you, sitting there is taxing. Although you're just sitting there, but it's taxing.
For 10 hours,
Yeah.
In the future, we'll use AI.
We're gonna, hey, J-Mac, you gotta find one.
And
You're good at that, to make it work for us.
if you know how we run the league bit back then, we will do announcing, we will do music. We learn that players, when you announce their name, they like that.
Yes.
So,
Yes, we work extra hard.
yeah, so.
What about concessions that people gonna?
Concessions, so, when we did the cleanup here with the the Simon Sanchez students. I had a chance to talk with Vanjie Paris, who is the counselor. She had asked that question about concession. Because considering that the school, they have, I don't know how many organizations, and all these organizations are trying to raise money, the senior class, whatever. So my thing is, I'm willing to open it up, and I did mention it to Vanjie that we're gonna open it up to the kids, the
Yes.
organizations, if they want to come out and do concession. The only thing is, if we have two different groups, my thing is, we don't want you to compete. If you're selling hot dogs, then we're not gonna allow this person to sell hot dogs. Because again, we don't want them to compete. We want to share the wealth, so, again, we're opening it up to the kids. Just yesterday, I spoke to Bernard Beneventi, who runs the Cal Ripkins. He had asked if it's open to the kids. Again, it's for kids. So depending on how many school organizations opt to do the concession, we definitely will fit them into that schedule. So my thing is, first is the kids. So. Any other questions? No, guys? Thank you. No? Okay, fuel cards.
Yay, I heard.
Congratulations.
It felt like receiving your high school diploma. We waited for so long, but yes, 2 weeks ago, we finally received the fuel cards. As of now, it's just the vice and I who's able to obtain the fuel for the containers or even for the vehicles until they work out all the kinks. I did mention to the vice, because we're approaching the end of the fiscal year, and they were telling us, you need to spend the money, you need to spend the money. So what I did was, because there was 5,000 that was unreserved for the fuel, and thinking, well, we're never gonna see the fuel card this fiscal year. Well, it showed up. Luckily, when I had submitted the amendment to cancel the 5,000 for the fuel, the council, one of the employees said, Mayor, we didn't do anything with it. We still have it. We didn't process it. And I said, okay, thank God, because now that we have fuel cards. But again, going back to, because we're at the end of the fiscal year, the vice, who's taken the brunt of this whole no fuel card and purchasing out of pocket, he has taken most of the brunt. So I mentioned to him, I'm not even going to worry about using it until next fiscal year. I will save it for you and the maintenance workers, because again, we're talking about not only the official, but all the officials that the maintenance workers drive and the equipment. So how much of that goes to the equipment? If you're doing grass cutting every day, So my thing is, because they're the ones who's using up fuel most of the time, majority of the time, I will leave that to him and the guys. So again, come next fiscal year, we will plan, we will do the requisition for fuel. I know when we came in, it was at 25,000. But again, considering the amount of equipment, because we purchased two riding mowers, zero-turn riding mowers. So, aside from the equipment that we have right now, including those, of course, the fuel. So eventually, that 25,000 may not last us for the entire fiscal year. So of course, we're gonna have to budget and increase. So That's the plan for next fiscal year. But yes, we did receive the fuel cards. And Vice has been good about turning in the receipts, because that's one of the things is they need the receipts, copies of the receipts at least. So um, I mentioned that you put fuel in the vehicle or you get fuel for the containers, you turn it in the same day, because, many times, yeah, and including myself, we put it on the side and then it gets lost or we accidentally throw it away. So to avoid that, we want to make sure that we account for all the expenditures for the fuel. Okay, any questions?
I know we discussed this so many times, but regarding all the funds that you have spent for the, when you guys didn't have the fleet cards, do you still have your receipts? Have you?
So I still have the receipts for one of our vehicles, which is one that was like really consistent, which is the guy's maintenance truck, right? I have the receipts for like the last few months, plus the Xerox copies for them too. So I just have it, and then the ones for the efficient that I was using, I have those still, and they're filed away. Just not made copies yet. But then that's why when the fuel card did come in, just it kind of just slipped my mind already. I have to worry about these receipts now.
Yes.
Like these are the important ones. So, but we still have them. They're logged and stuff. It's kind of just in the air.
So can, again, I'm volunteering, so please, if you can get me those, so I can log it for you, we can have it noted in our minutes, how much you guys have spent, because we definitely would,
I think-
try our best to get that reimbursed to you guys.
I think I personally just don't want to see the total because I'm gonna cry.
But then if we can do it, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
we're gonna
but-
get amazing
Yeah.
Christmas gifts
Yeah.
if we can get it for you. So, I mean, of course, you guys know the answer more than, we've heard the answer more than we, but I still think that we should definitely keep it logged,
sure.
and, where there's a will, there's a way,
Yeah.
so if we can get even half of those
Yeah.
funds back to you, that, yeah.
That's the thing about having to really save these receipts now for the food card. Really, some of the guys. We have a few of the maintenance workers who were supposed to be getting fuel cards, right? But when the mayor and I got ours, and then when can we get ours? When can we get ours? I said maybe it's good that we're the only ones who have it right now, because these guys sometimes when it was them, you would give them personal cash. The first instinct is just no need receipt, right? So these cards is real good that I can monitor that we're using it, right? And I'm still hard on them too. With the 5 gallon doesn't mean go fill up all the freaking bush cutter right now.
There's got to be a way to, in my previous life, we call it exception to policy. You apply for an exception to policy. We know what the policy is, but extraordinary circumstances can call for an exception. And as long as it's documented and everything, then whoever the approval authority is can grant an exception to policy. So it's good to just maintain the record, and hopefully we can find a way to get an exception to policy.
Okay.
Any questions? No? Okay, so moving on to, so I don't know if any of you recall the $600,000 that was given back in March 2023, I believe. And this was the Village Community Care Grant. It was afforded to all the mayor's offices, $600,000. This was from the governor, and I believe it was after COVID. So each mayor's office was given $600,000. And this funding went into the NAF account In other words, it went into the planning council's bank account, checking account, and this is for the previous. I've been requesting for copies, records of the expenditures, and the only reason why I had requested specifically for the 600,000 is because the funding, as I was told, was used to repair the gym, the softball field, and the basketball court due to malware. Now, if these were used for the repair of malware, then it's eligible for reimbursement. Now, 600,000, that's a lot of money that we can give back, put back into the community. And that's one of the reasons why I've been requesting for the documents since even before January. So again, the request was made when we took office, no response. So I figured, okay, there has to be another way. So what I did was I met with the AG's office to get some guidance and assistance. I met with Mr. Norman Miller. So we talked about what I was trying to do with this 600,000, the documents and all that, the purpose of it. That being said, gave him the details, what I wanted to do, what the purpose was, timelines. So he drafted up a letter and served the former mayor requesting for these documents. Well, an email came back from Mr. Miller that the former mayor says, well, you can get these documents from the mayor's council. It's a quarterly report, yada, yada. Well, first of all, quarterly reports are, yes, they're filed every quarter. However, there are no copies of receipts, checks attached to those reports. Now, in order to get reimbursement from FEMA, there has to be proof of payment. In other words, a copy of the check. So, going back to the quarterly reports, these quarterly reports don't have that. It just gives a breakdown of what you received, what you spent, your ending balance, all that. No copies of receipts, no copies of checks or anything. That was one thing. Mayor's Council, the quarterly report. Also, he mentioned I can go to the Mayor's Council to get these documents. Well, because it's a non-appropriated funds, the Mayor's Council has nothing to do with the account. They do not oversee the NAP. They do not maintain the records. They do not have copies of whatever documents that come with it. The sole custodian of that would be the mayor, his planning council, and maybe his treasurer, or somebody at the office. So, again, he, I guess, emailed the former mayor, came back with an email yesterday that, again, I can go to these places. So, the runaround, to me, I'm starting to feel that maybe there's something that there's a discrepancy somewhere. I hate to think like that because, my thing is, if in fact that this is what you use the funding for, and you have all your documents, then why hesitate on turning it over? I'm not asking because I want to see it. No, I'm asking because if we can get reimbursement from FEMA, the full 600,000, can you imagine what we can do with that? we can fix this place up, we can do the lights, we can, we can do a lot of things, but until such time, I can't do anything. So,
The NAF account that we have now, is that a new NAF account? So, I mean, it's a lot of legwork, and it's sort of like doing an investigation, but you can try to contact the bank, if it wasn't Bank of Guam or whoever it is, and tap into that and get the records from there, or whoever did the work would have receipts and contracts, and so we can get it from them. It's a lot of legwork, but if we can't get it from the former mayor, then we might not have any choice but to go.
so in speaking with Mr. Miller, that was one of the things that was brought up. He had asked, well, what about the account? I don't have any authority to go and ask the bank because, again, I have nothing to do with it.
Right.
The only one that can do that is himself, their treasurer, their council member, whoever's authorized. But again, when we came in, that account was already closed, was already zeroed out. So, and of course, again, I did message him and I told him, I don't care about any other funding, whatever you guys do with whatever. The only thing I want to, I'm concentrating on is the 600,000.
It's recoverable.
So, given that, public health is the monitoring agency, Gita is the one who is responsible for the grant. So, I did FOIA these two agencies, but neither one of them have records as far as invoices, all this. So, and, I was kind of surprised actually with public health as the monitoring agency. This is federal money that you're getting, and it just makes you wonder, well, is that the reason why we're losing a lot of federal funds is because accountability? I hate to think that, but, with the 600,000, they don't have anything. The only thing that they have is an email, a document that they signed that they received this grant, this is what they're gonna do with it. But all in all, I have asked also for an invoice of detailed work that was done. Because in doing some digging with the FEMA grants portal, because these three facilities was supposed to have a damage inventory. So in the FEMA grants portal, documents are uploaded. So I decided, okay, let me take a look. There was a document that I found that shows a company that did the repairs at the gym, estimated at 519,000, I believe. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, 519,000, I don't know. You could build a new gym. So, and then not only that, the whole issue with the roll-up door. There's still leaks at the gym. The bleachers, some bleachers have not been repaired. And 519,000, okay, so what did you do? What did you do with the 519,000? Again, because these are repairs related to Mauer, they are reimbursable by FEMA. But until such time, we don't have the documents, there's nothing we can do. So, 600,000, that's a lot to lose.
Ghost project.
So,
Is there a deadline for the reimbursement?
well, because I know that the gym, and not only Yigo, Island White, with government facilities, this whole thing with GovWam insurance. I know some, I believe most of them are self-insured, right, Jack?
Yes.
And so, that was one of the issues. Again, that's one of the reasons why the gym, um, the damage inventory for the gym, was deobligated because no insurance. But again, because the repairs were done, if we're able to provide the documents,
So, Mayor, you're aware the period of performance ends in 2027
mhm.
for the disaster?
So, clock is ticking. And that is the reason why I'm pressuring to get those documents because, we want to meet the timeline. And until such time again, uh, we can't do anything. And that's 600,000. 600,000. All I'm asking for is you give me the documents so we can proceed. Again, am I gonna get the runarounds? Well, I've been getting the runarounds. So I just wanted to let you guys know that's what I'm doing now, is trying to get the documents for this. So,
Also, maybe Mayor, I don't know, maybe to repeat, right, maybe this is worth alerting the Attorney General because of the dollar amount, because of the possibility that funds were utilized and not utilized appropriately. Maybe there's some action on that side that we're obligated to inform the Attorney General if we have any,
Investigation.
right, for an investigation of this because.
Yeah, it would warrant at least them looking into it. But you can make a complaint directly to the prosecution division.
so when they had, if you recall, they had the AG's Q&A here. I had a chance to talk with the one who coordinated that. I don't
Joe
know.
Ariel,
No, he works for the AG's office.
oh, Salas or Camacho, one of the two.
Yeah, so anyways, I had a chance to talk to him. So he said, hey, so email me the information. So I did. So one of the ladies from there had called me and had told me, we did receive the email that you sent to that individual. And we're just following up if you have any documents that could be helpful. So I mentioned to her that I don't have any documents. That's just it. I don't have any documents. But this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I was told the money was spent on. And so Mr. Miller emailed me, and that's how this whole initiation with Mr. Miller was that the AG had asked him to contact me and meet with them. So where it goes from there, I don't know. So I'm just hoping for a more positive response,
Right, so the civil side is one side of the house. If like Jack was suggesting, maybe this needs further looking into, that's under the prosecution side of the house. And technically, the civil and the prosecution are not, they're supposed to be walled off from. So if you do want to pursue an investigation, you would have to, initiate contact with the prosecution side of the house. They do have a government corruption unit, and so that would be the best place to go. As far as the civil side of the house is, like I said, they're not supposed to be talking to the other side of the house. It's supposed to be kept separate. So if you do want to pursue it and have it looked into, I would recommend contacting the government corruption side or office.
So, I'm going to be honest, that has crossed my mind. But what I want to do first is go this route. Okay, can you,
Right.
and that's all I'm asking. 600,000, that's all I'm asking. I don't care about anything else outside of that.
Right, because the other thing is, on the, once it goes into a criminal investigation, then nobody's privy to any of the information. And that information could take years to get out, right? You cannot, so maybe it's better to go to the company and say, hey, give us what you got.
Okay, so, I don't want to mention, but, I don't want to do that, only because.
I understand, I understand.
Yeah.
Because there might be some sort of collusion.
So I'd rather not take that route and just, work it through the AG's office.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so that's what, I'm working on. And again, I'm hoping for, a positive outcome of this. It's not gonna benefit me. I'm not doing this so that it'll benefit me, it's for the community. Again, like I said, 600,000 is a lot of money, let alone I'm trying to ask for money for the lights. But if we get this money, okay, problem solved, and other problems.
We need a resolution or motion or some action by this council to probably be evaluated, that's the case, let us know. But I'm agreeing with you that taking this action is prudent at this point, and until we have all the facts and all the information, and then.
Yes. Okay, so, any questions?
I mean, I know the one thing that you're saying in regards to the vendor, going to the vendor directly, and there may be some issues with that. But you may be able to go off the reports, because you understand they do the quarterly reports, right? Do the quarterly reports and then see what the vendor gives you, and and then use the quarterly reports to match up with the vendor to see if that's an actual, if there's value into what they're giving you.
It's complicated and delicate.
Right, at the least, right? But that was the only thing I was like, what would be the check and balance in regards to that? And that would be the quarter reports were filed, at a certain time, and then, for them, if they're, if they're giving you what that should match the reports that are previously given out.
So, again, going back to the quarterly reports, it doesn't accompany any supporting documents as far as like payments that were made.
Yeah, it would just be a number, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. So.
So it's just a general number, it's not
Yes.
even exact.
So, I'll give you an example with the general fund. All it is, okay, this is how much we received for the general fund from the fiscal year. This is how much we've spent, by object class, whether it's, telephone, supplies.
Maintenance.
It's broken down by the amount, and this is your imbalance.
Okay, so it's not even it's not even itemized.
No receipts.
So,
Mayor, if I could, normally all of these documents are turned in during project formulation, as you know, right? So when the typhoon occurred, you would have to do a preliminary damage assessment of everything, and then you would have to turn in for cost estimate purposes, all the damage, right? And you can insert market research into that. But all of that needs to be turned in to FEMA, and then FEMA does its cost calculation before it obligates any funding. So that's what's really weird about this, is if we had, the damages that were submitted already, and the cost estimate was developed, right? It's just a matter of proving that the repairs were done. We know that the repairs are done because post-Mawar, you could see the functionality and I'm just talking about these three, the projects that are out here. The gym one was actually ineligible from what we understand, so that means not enough information was submitted to make that determination.
yes. Yeah, and that's the reason why I said when I went into Grants Portal, that's where I found a spreadsheet that indicated this was the estimate cost, or this is how much was spent for the repair of the gym, 519,000, I think. So, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I will keep you guys abreast as to the communication between myself and the AG's office. Any questions? No? Okay, moving on to old business, FIFA Arena mini patch project. Again, this one here, introduced by, Tino Sengil. The requirement for this was a concrete slab. It's not one of those, okay, we're gonna come in and, do the form and then do the concrete. No, it has to be in existence already. Because then what they're gonna do is they're just gonna come in, they're going to order the supplies, come in and put in the artificial grass and, do whatever, and that's it. But, we don't have that facility. Somebody did mention about the basketball court down here. The only thing is, right behind the basketball court is government easement. So should, that easement ever open up, then,
Break it.
yeah. So, I don't think that is an ideal place only because of safety. Again, the, Agapidoma's basketball court was brought up, but then again, parking. Majority of the, properties around the, basketball court is private property, so, that's out of the question. So, when are we going to, decide we want this is when we have the,
Did we ever speak to any of the schools? I know somebody brought this up, right, about maybe putting the patch at Sanchez or.
okay, so, and I'm glad you brought that up because, I had asked the same question. And he said, no, we don't want to do schools because we want it to be accessible to the public. And because the schools are locked up over the weekend, it's not accessible to the public. So, they didn't want it at the schools, so. Yeah, I thought the same thing too, but. Yeah, so, any questions on that? No? Okay. Moving on to, item B, CLTC, lot 7055. I provided you a copy of the letter that I submitted to, Chamorro Land Trust requesting for, the remainder of this property. Keep in mind, 29.16 acres, was already reserved for GWA. So the remaining, 13.49 acres, is still, available. So, I'm requesting for that and, because, if you were there at the, swearing-in, obviously you were, the purpose of me requesting for this is, for facilities for Yigo. The only sports facility that we have is what you see here, the gym and up at Agafumas. So, again, our community continues to grow. We have how many housing developments that are going up? And yet we don't have the facility to accommodate the growth. I did meet with one of the board members and, the question was, so they're going to ask you, do you have the funding? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to steer away from reserving properties for the agencies, and it sits there and nothing's being done. And so I said, well, I want to tap into the community block grant. I've spoken to the lieutenant governor, the governor about a community center. So these are areas that, I can get funding, but, like the bank, I'm not gonna give you money if you don't have property to build a house. Likewise, I can't go get a loan if I can't build a house if I don't have the money. I have the property, but no money. So, there's looking at it at both angles, I mean,
I'm sorry, you just hit something on the head there, because when I was administrative director at the CLTC, there were reversionary clauses that were included in a lot of these measures. So, for instance, if you both agreed, right, if both parties agreed to a timeline or a specific amount of time, and that if it wasn't done in a specific amount of time, then it would revert back to the land trust. So, that's the flexibility I think that they were looking for in terms of that, and why we had so many of those types of clauses embedded into our lease agreements with them, is because if you didn't use it or didn't get the funding by a certain time, then it would revert back to. So I'm just highlighting that as a path forward, as a way forward, because it should never be, oh, we can't because of one impediment. It should never be, it's not possible. All things are possible, it's just how you're able to articulate that in a measure.
yeah, so, that board member, did tell me, well, they're gonna ask you about funding. Do you have the funding? Because if you don't have the funding, then, what are the chances of us getting that? And again, it goes back to, well, how can we build something when we don't have the property?
Correct.
How can we move forward on this when, it's one or the other, so.
Another thing too, that the CLTC would be more apt to look at is if we had a master plan for the usage of the facility, right? Because I know that that's one of the things that we did at the racetrack, was we asked for a master plan for the construction or the expansion of whatever Mr. Simpson was doing at the time. So one thing that we can do is spend some time maybe developing a master plan for the usage of it, together with timelines, right? And expressed kind of like a plan for applying for grants, right? So that way, when they ask that question, we don't come empty-handed, we come with that, so.
Yeah.
We got it lined up.
Yeah.
So, definitely what I'm going to do, aside from this, is also write a letter to them that, because they're asking, okay, what funding source? So definitely I'm gonna have to tell them, well, this is an option for us, the community block grant, so, I was advised, hey, yeah, do a letter and put that in and submit it, so, that's what I'm going to do. I already started, but, again, sidetracked because of all this, and so, definitely, that letter will be submitted, and, I will provide you guys a copy of that.
Thank you.
So,
And if that 600,000 went through,
Right. At the minimum, at least, I mean,
Yeah.
just usage of the land is just a field, like like the mayor's office does not have enough places to put stuff these days, like you guys literally have that,
Yeah.
and then you guys I know store stuff at your guys' personal residences, so like, even if we're just, at least for now, create an area just for at least a storage facility and maybe a field. I mean, once you clear that, it could be used for, the community garden that we're going to try to do, or stuff that's not going to cost so much, but I know they want the reason why we're giving so much, right?
Yeah.
So,
and, 29 acres, that's a lot. That was given to GWA, so, and that's for water well, so I'm like, okay, so.
we need to build a filtering facility.
was this that recently, or when they gave them the?
No, so this, was back.
Way
It was,
back then?
I have public law, at the office, but yeah, this was back then, when, they started to get the inventory of, properties. And so that's when they started to, reserve for, and if I'm not mistaken, that's where GPD fell into, where they had that property, and what is it, the bus satellite, but of course, bus satellite was already there, so, but yeah, that's in the law. So, any questions? No? New business, I know we had Mr. Harry Gutierrez here, do his presentation. If, if you guys would like to vote on this, and again, this is just to rezone, this property, Councilmember McDermott is,
I was listening on the way in.
oh, okay.
I was stuck in traffic,
Oh,
but
okay.
yes, right across Gordon Villa, right?
Yes, yes. So, again, this property is one lot, to be divided into 4 lots, for, residential and rental. So, and again, the properties around them, surrounding this lot, are already, rezoned, to residential, so. um, Okay, so, anybody want to make a motion?
I think Jack did already, right?
No,
Oh, not yet?
not yet, but
Okay, go ahead.
I make a motion to approve this summary zone application number 2024-20.
I can second.
Okay, on the motion to approve the summary zone change, motion by Councilmember Jack, seconded by Councilmember Jonathan McDermott. On the motion, any objections? No? Motion carries. Announcements. Any announcements? No? No announcements? Nobody's getting married?
We're almost done with the grant course.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you to, we've stepped away, Robert Barcinas for announcing it. So a few of us are in the class and very active. It's, it's exciting to see.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, on that same note, Ethan and Serena from the office is part of that, training, so,
Yeah,
We focused on, Tuesdays was really action packed. We
Yeah.
focused on payments, right? The payment process, right? And there were a lot of good questions from the nonprofits, right? About the length of time that it takes, and of course, GRO was there to guide everybody through the process. But tomorrow and kind of our prep, and then the post test is on Friday.
yes.
And then we should receive it.
oh, so it's already, you're already at the tail end of the
Yes, the last 2
training.
days of the course is
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
What are the, it's not an announcement, more of a question. What are we planning for Halloween?
We did a flyer, we were thinking of, trunk or treat, and I threw it out at our staff meeting, because it's just next month. And, one of the ideas was, haunted house, in the gym. And so I said, hey, that's an idea. I also mentioned that when we do this, the staff can, charge $2, $3 entrance, and you can use that, because, the mayor's council is planning for its Christmas party. They can use that for, their ticket to the Christmas party or whatever, or we can have, a school organization or whoever wants to. But, that was one of the ideas, was, a haunted house. It's just a matter of who's going to, kind of like the float, who's going to,
I say give it up to, or offer it to San Sanchez. You know, I know my son's school does it, Whiskey does it. I think JFK does it as well. So it might be worth it to give it up to Sanchez for, that.
as a fundraising.
Yeah. And then if we're going that route to, maybe, to utilize the gym, we can we get a portion? Or do, you pay a fee to do it, or however
So,
way?
and when we talk about the schools, I hate to say, okay, we're gonna have you do it, but can you give us a portion?
Okay.
Only because,
Yeah.
really, how much can you make from these kind of fundraisings?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can make a good amount, but just not enough to support their venture of what they're trying to do. But I mean, I can open up to the kids.
What do we normally charge folks for use of the gym? Or is it up to them in
So it's by donation.
by donation?
I always say by donation because we still don't have a user fee schedule. So we can't say we're charging you. It's a fee. It's by donation. So I know the last time we had a church group use it on a Sunday, $500 was the donation. So
A couple of quick questions. If we're gonna do let them use a gym, are there any sports, or any, leagues that are gonna be using the gym at this time that are gonna be thrown off? And then how long?
Well, yeah, like
Is it just gonna be like a one weekend?
no, so this is because Halloween falls on a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and so right now we don't have any leagues or being played on Friday. Basketball, and that's another thing is, sorry, I forgot to mention, Rafi, who coordinated the youth basketball league, is coordinating the mayor's basketball cup, and that's going to start in October, but that's only on Sundays. So Friday is pretty much open for that purpose. Although we do have the school that reserved to use the gym for practice, but in the event that we do have something, we would normally call them and say, hey, at least just for this day, we're going to utilize it, and they've been pretty much okay with it.
Cool.
So
Just double checking.
yeah.
I mean, did the mayor staff want to use that as a fundraiser?
So I threw it out, and one of the staff, I'm not going to say who's, one of the staff said, hey, haunted house. But
They
then,
wanna take the lead.
yeah, so I said, okay, so
Because
since.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so I
It
said,
is a lot.
okay,
It's a lot of work.
since you mentioned it, okay, how about you share it? And, just that look, so.
So also, if it isn't a practice, I would recommend it be, that there will be a liability waiver
Yes, definitely.
For sure. And then, with most haunted houses, you gotta like run it for at least a couple days, 3 or 4 days, just to kind of recoup try to get as much money from it as possible.
Yeah.
But a trunk or treat sounds really cheap, and affordable.
Yes.
Like that one, everybody could pull off, right?
Everybody park at the
So
gym.
definitely the trunk or treat, because we have 4 daycares here in Yigo who want to come together and do that. So we're gonna push out a flyer for those residents who are interested, or organizations, businesses who wanna come out and join the trunk or treat.
Yeah, and I've
We
seen
will do
people
this.
go all out.
We'll do this at the parking lot of the gym. One of the suggestions was, hey, how about you do a contest also? I guess, I don't know, what contest do you do for trunk or treat? Scariest or whatever,
Right.
but yeah.
That's what I'm saying, they go all out.
Yeah.
The daycare over at where I work, they really go all out, and it's because it's competitive. They compete for the.
Yeah, so that was one of the ideas. So definitely, we want to do the trunk or treat, because one, I like the idea only because, nowadays it's not safe to have the kids walking out there, and the way these drivers drive, I feel a lot better knowing that it's just within the compound, so. Definitely the trunk or treat. Again, we're going to push out that flyer, whoever wants to participate. call the mayor's office. Maybe we can come up with some kind of competition for it,
You can do, we can do two things, like, so we can do a trunk or treat, we can do like a water drive. We accept donations for water.
Oh, there you go.
So that
That's an
way it's two
idea.
things, right? Like,
Mhm.
so we'll do a trunk or treat and then like, we'll do a water drive, so, anybody that's participating in a trunk or treat, recommend, if they could, donate water or just, kind of do a visual, just so that, we're trying to do something for the families in the community.
Oh, that's an idea.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually, because, we are asking for donations for water and, Okay, so, anybody wanna take charge?
So,
Not everybody raise your hand, no one take.
Of what?
To coordinate the
To coordinate
trunk or
the trunk or treat.
Oh, yeah.
I'll participate, but I won't be on the island. I'll get back to the 29th.
You're leaving?
But I'll be back before Halloween.
Oh, okay.
So, that's, what date, Friday?
It's a Friday, and
So
I said, it's a perfect
I'll
day because,
participate.
Okay.
I'll bring my
it's
car there for a
Friday.
little pop-up.
weekend for the kids, they don't have to worry about, well, at least.
Okay, cool. See you back.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
And the AI of the Yigo
So, it's gonna be a Halloween carnival trunk or treat kind of thing, and
Yeah.
then, yeah, I'll put something together and up on the chat, and then we'll figure out if it works. So, but
And know that the staff is here to also support,
Yes.
yeah.
we're in this together, so,
Yes.
we'll put our resources together.
Cool.
I'll participate. I'll be number one.
That should be fun. And we're gonna have it on Halloween,
Halloween.
and then like a time frame from like 4:30 to
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah.
10, like early, right? Or
Yeah, 10
Because
is late, maybe 8, maybe 9.
No, but then again, because it's a Friday,
You know what does everybody do? They take their kids, they go to another village and
Right.
Yeah, they go to
Because
Heights.
Chico doesn't have
take your kids
Chico
and go to
doesn't
the
have
gym.
a Halloween thing, right? Like
no,
Paris Acres, you have to have someone that stays there, and
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
Mariana's Terrace is not the same.
Yeah.
So
and I know the norm is, normally they set up outside the office and they just give candy, but there's no fun in that.
if we could, so the main thing is if like we can get enough people to do a trunk or treat, at least 20 cars, that would be. So the main thing was just get the signups now. That way.
Okay. Okay, so tomorrow we'll work on the flyer and push it out.
Yes, I'll work on a flyer
And then we'll
tonight.
also, we sent it to Simon Sanchez.
sent a simple one to Simon Sanchez to see if they wanted to participate.
Okay.
And like Mayor said, the daycare's one.
Yeah. The 4 daycares here in Yigo,
Okay.
they're willing to participate, so.
Maybe like a best costume thing for the kids,
Oh, yeah.
and like that way. So if we get that many, right, you can do like a costume thing. So yeah, cool. Yeah. As long as it's not a haunted house, because haunted house, it sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just the setup and then.
yeah.
So what is it? Just reverse your truck, your car, pick up the truck,
Dress it up.
Yeah.
maybe a little pop-up can be there,
Yeah.
decorated.
Dude, probably like some of the serious like trick or treat people, like they need like maybe like an hour or two just to set up. 'Cause, yeah, it's like a mini, like some people's like a mini haunted house. Man. They
Yeah.
go all out. Yeah, National Guard zone's usually pretty wild.
Yeah. I've seen them put pop-ups with walls and.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, full dress up.
Well, like I said, they go all out.
Yeah, I think we should offer it up to the schools, because like Sanchez and FB, I'm sorry, they don't have their own campuses to do these types of things, so it'll be a good thing even, if the middle school can come out and do something like a salt water or, you know.
Like, we got the plug for like Peter for his for the little trains and stuff. Yeah, you can get the
Oh,
Peter out and just do like a full,
oh,
yeah, the little carnival thing.
Okay.
I mean, we got some new lawnmowers, just gotta like,
Okay.
just gotta make the trailer.
Wait,
No, I'm just kidding, that's
wait,
about
what
work,
is it
man.
called? Pit stop, right?
Yeah, pit stop.
No, we can do that with the motor stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff.
Just gotta, the next time they're doing out the plastic dumpies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, another thing that I kind of threw out was, we can have food trucks there as well. So,
Yeah, the cool thing is like food trucks is easy these days. There's so many. So just, obviously there's gonna be people somewhere, there should be able to get something and then just gotta make sure to I work on the sign up to make sure there's enough cars. We just gotta determine how many car slots we're gonna have and then lighting. The next one is probably just working on lighting. So. Cool. I'll put together a listing of all
yay.
this stuff.
Okay. Any other announcements? No? No wedding, no.
Yeah.
Vice, any,
No wedding, no.
I meant any announcements?
But we like the way you think. Go ahead and note that for
found
the
out you
for the
can do-
camera, 820.
For GovGuam, I found out you can do for insurance purposes an affidavit of cohabitation.
Common law? Oh, I saw
AKA
that.
common law.
Yeah.
After 7 years, you're good.
That's how you know it's
That's
like.
only 2 years, so it's required.
2 years now?
Oh my god.
Hey,
But that's just for insurance purposes.
anybody can get
How about
married.
for
It
the-
takes,
you
it
can
takes
carry
work
your-
to be
How
common
about
law.
for half and half people, 7 years, right?
It takes work to be common law.
Okay, there are no other announcement, motion to adjourn? A motion.
Second.
Okay, cool. Any objections?
Nope.
Motion carries, we are now adjourned, it is 8:29.
Right.
That's